What's up, game players? How are you guys doing? I want to welcome you guys to the Analog Circle Podcast Roundtable Edition. And this week, guys, I have a very special guest who actually has something that I, as well as yourself, will be interested in getting to know a little bit more about. It's a very great service. I think you guys will benefit from this, and I can't wait to talk to him to get into the meat and potatoes of it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I want to welcome to the show, and you guys give him a round of applause as well, Mr. Nathan Boyd. What's going on, brother? How are you?
I'm doing just fine. This morning.
I'm doing pretty well. Hey, listen, Nate, I want to truly thank you for being a guest on the show this week. It is greatly appreciated, and thank you for your time.
No problem. It's my pleasure. Thanks.
No problem. So, Nate, before we actually get into this very great business that you have, sir, that I'm very excited about, I just want to ask you, in your own words, what exactly got you into gaming? Because I know for me, it was my siblings, my brother and sister. They were playing, always going to the arcade. I wanted to tag along. You know, my dad, he was into it, into the Atari era, and even ColecoVision. So, you know, I'm showing my age, brother. But for you, was there any particular influence that you had, or was it something that you got into on your own?
Well, I got into it really on my own. I used to go to the arcade with a few of my friends. I live in Brooklyn, New York. So the corner store around the corner had an arcade, and I used to go over and play the old video games, as you said, showing your age. And I was also a big fan of Atari. So the combat and the tennis back in the day, and then when Pac-Man came around, and like you said, ColecoVision and the original Duck Hunt for Nintendo, those were the start of my gaming days.
I got you. Yeah, it was the same thing for me as well. You know, just going to the corner store. Pac-Man came out and Galaga. Yes, indeed. I mean, I don't know how many quarters we burned back then, but it was also a very, very it was kind of a relief to be able to actually have a console at home where you paid for it once and you didn't have to worry.
Exactly. You play as many times as you want all night long if you could.
Yes, indeed. They were some great days. Unfortunately, back then, it was no saves, but hey, we didn't know any better. You know?
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. I guess, just off of that question, out of curiosity too, what were some of your favorite games growing up? I mean, me, I gotta say Duck Hunt. I absolutely loved it. You know, having a light gun, Super Mario Brothers, Contra, Kung Fu. I mean, I had quite a few, but what were some of your favorites growing up, Nate?
Well, I've always been into racing. So my favorite games were from the Atari day, Pole Position, and then it moved over to, in the arcade, Spy Hunter, when that came out. That was one of my favorite games. And then as time progressed and the graphics got better, I moved into the PlayStation era with Gran Turismo and the Need for Speed genre. So those were my favorite games. But if we're talking back then, like you mentioned, Contra, Doom, I was into, then the Donkey Kong. I enjoyed those games, but my passion really lied with the racing games. I've owned countless number of systems, and most of them were purchased just to have the racing games. So that was the reason I purchased the PlayStation 2 and then 3, is because I followed the Gran Turismo series. So I just kept on top of that.
Gotcha. Hey, that works for me. It's absolutely been some incredible racing games that have come down the pipeline over the years. Like you said, Need for Speed, definitely a great game. One of my favorites though, Nate, I gotta tell you, I don't know if you played it. It wasn't a simulation racer, but it was called Burnout. I mean, it was just chaos, just chaotic.
Burnout.
Yeah, it was a fantastic game, Nate. Fantastic.
I used to work at a video game arcade, and that's kind of partially what drove me to open the business that we'll talk about. And Burnout, and there was another game similar to Burnout where you would sit in a racing chair and you play, and those were kind of the draw for me. I'd spend countless hours in there playing those games. So.
Absolutely, definitely. Well, as always, it's always great to talk to a fellow gamer, someone who's, into the culture, I mean, even if it's just a little bit, just someone that can relate to the passion and, just the gaming sphere of things. So it's always great, man. Definitely. I guess, Nate, with that being said, let's get into, what we're both here to, what I'm here to find out more of for the listeners and what you've actually just started not too long ago. So I want to ask you, Nate, exactly, because could you tell the listeners the name of your business first?
So the name of my business is Tail Gamer. It's a video game mobile arcade truck. So that's what the basic business is. Definitely.
Now, Nate, I guess I would like to ask you, what actually made you want to start Tail Gamer in the first place? Just curious, really curious to know.
Well, one of the things that really gave me the idea and the start on this business is I went to New York to a party for a family member, and somebody had rented one, and it was an idea that I had never seen before, and I was astonished and amazed when I went inside, and it's got multiple TVs in it, and there's kids playing games, and everybody's got their own headset, and it was just an amazing idea. So I looked around in the area where I'm at, and no one was doing it. So I said, okay, you know what? I don't have the funds right now to start up a big business like this, but, I can do it on a smaller basis. So knowing that I was a gamer and I had a lot of the systems, I had the Xbox, the PlayStation, and the flat screen TVs, I started on a small scale and built some TV stands, and I would go around and do parties for people, and I'd bring the multiple game system, multiple TVs, and if it's nice weather outside, we could do it outside under a tent, or we could do it in a garage, or if they had a basement, we'd set everything up. So that's how the idea came about. And then I progressed and grew from there, and now I own a trailer with 7 TVs, and it's continuing to grow in what I can offer. So it's a wonderful business. The idea, when most people see it, it's, wow, I've never seen anything like that before. And then they come in and it just goes on from there.
That's excellent. I have to say that the first time, I mean, interestingly enough, Nate, the first time I had actually seen something like this, it was about 3 years ago, maybe 4. And when it actually, got to, where I was at, it is an amazing thing to see. It's something that I had never seen before, something that, like you said, I didn't know it existed. And I think it has such a great benefit because when you think about it, Nate, if someone is having a birthday party or a get together or just some kind of event where it involves a lot of people coming out and supporting that person, not everybody can fit in someone's bedroom,
yes,
to
exactly.
actually play the game, or, it might be some games that a person may want to play and they're not going to have the access or even the games to do that. But what you're bringing to the table is something where everyone can actually go into one place and actually play various games all at the same time.
At the same time. Yes.
Yes, indeed, enjoying their friends and their family. So I think that is a wonderful, wonderful idea. Now, Nate, go ahead, Nate. I thought you were going to say something, brother.
No, what I was going to add on to that is a lot of what's missing nowadays in the gaming environment is the couch co-op that people used to enjoy, because now everything is online and you can play with people around the world, which is fine and great, but you miss that camaraderie. You're sitting there, you're having a drink with one of your friends, and you're enjoying the time spent with your friends sitting right next to you playing. And that's something that Tailgamer can provide, where it's a little bit more of a personalized experience, not you just playing with somebody over the internet, and yes, you're able to talk to them, but you don't get to bond with them the same way. So it's another thing that Tailgamer is bringing to the masses.
Absolutely. I would definitely agree with that. It is definitely a void to a certain extent with the couch co-op. And, you know, like you said, everything is online now, and I mean, that is good, but like you said, you don't get to really bond with the person, you know, like back in the day, like you said, you might order a pizza, have a few of your friends over, and y'all are just having a great time. So that's awesome, Nate. It really is. Now, I guess the next question I would want to ask you, Nate, is exactly what areas is it that you serve? Is there a particular area you like to stay around, or, you know, just, yeah.
Okay, so the business is based out of the Pocono regions in northeastern PA. So I basically cover anywhere from the Poconos, approximately 2 hours out. There's the cost depending on how far you are from my centralized area in the Poconos, but I'm not against traveling. I've been to New York, upstate New York, the Monticello area. Then I've been to New York City and down towards Allentown, Scranton area. So I service this entire area in the northeastern portion of Pennsylvania. Like I said, parts of New Jersey I actually have been into. So I'm not opposed to traveling. And right now my prices are, if not competitive, cheaper than most of my competitors. And there's nobody in this area. So I'm ahead of the game from that perspective. But even when you travel into Jersey, I'm a little bit better priced than some of them, even with my mileage additional charges.
Definitely. Hey, that sounds great. I have to say, that is a vast region that you actually cover. Because, I mean, me being a truck driver, I've touched pretty much all of those places, and that is a nice, I said a couple miles in between there, brother. It's quite a few.
Yes. Well, I'm looking at probably 60 to 90 miles that I'm willing to travel.
Wow.
My base area is anything within 30 miles, there's no additional charge for. Once I go out of that, then because of the gas prices, I do have to charge, but above and beyond that. But I try to keep it reasonable, and I'm just trying to cover my gas costs when I do hit those extended areas.
Definitely. So, that's more than understandable, Nate. Absolutely, man. I guess matter of fact, Nate, another question for you. What are some of the consoles that you offer to the consumer?
So right now, I offer the most popular ones, except Switch, which I'm actually looking to get.
Hey, Nate, everybody's having a hard time finding the Switch, brother. Yes. Everybody.
So I offer, starting from the back in the day, I have a couple of the original Ataris, not the
what?
New.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Now, that was something that I didn't get with the other people. I'm going to just put that out there. That's all. Man, yep. That's awesome.
And I have two. So we typically, when we do that, we have two external TVs that we can hook up, and we can have people play head to head against each other as far as score, because Atari didn't have any network.
Right.
But we've got those. Then we move up to the Wii U. Then we have PlayStation 2, 3, and 4, Xbox One, and Xbox 360. We also have, for the younger kids that come in the trailer and play sometime, we do have a couple of Nintendo 3DSs. So sometimes I know Super Smash Brothers can be played with the 3DS, so we do have some of them in there so they can kind of join in. Or sometimes they just want to play by themselves. For the younger kids, we'll let them play something while the other older kids are playing the team-oriented games.
Wow, I have to say, Nate, that is a really incredible array of different consoles. I honestly thought it was just going to be the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 and maybe the Wii U, but you've actually taken it back to the previous PlayStations and the 360. You said the 3DS?
Yes, we have two 3DSs. And not only do we have the Xbox Ones and PlayStation 4, we have multiple copies of them. So I've got 4 Xbox Ones, 4 PlayStation 4s, 3 Xbox 360s, and 2 Xbox 360s and 3 PlayStation 3s. So we did that so we can have tournaments. So we can have multiple people playing the same games against each other or online, because we do offer an online service in the trailer.
Wow. So you actually, now Nate, I hope I'm not jumping the gun here. I hope I'm not. But you guys actually have, if I'm understanding it correctly, Wi-Fi in the trailer?
Yes. We have 2 wireless hotspots that are piped into routers that offer internet access to all of the systems in the trailer.
That is excellent. That really is. My goodness.
That service is an additional fee, but it is available.
Absolutely. Understandably. Wow. That is fantastic, Nate. I guess also the other thing that you had hinted on that I just kind of wanted to go back to is the fact that if it is a nice day outside, you do have the equipment to actually be able to make it so people can also game outside underneath a tent as well, if they want to enjoy the weather.
Exactly, yes. So there's 2 things. We have actually a TV mounted to the trailer outside in a concession window. So that's a 55-inch TV that's mounted outside that is typically dedicated to the Wii. So they can go out there because there's more open space, and a lot of the parties, they ask for the Just Dance. And we can get 8 people outside actually out there dancing. And then if we need, because it's a larger party, that we will host a large party. And the last one we did was for about 50 kids. We did put up a tent with 2 55-inch TVs, and those each had a Wii. So we actually brought, Band Hero, and a couple of guitars, the drum set, and all that. And they played that on one TV, while on the second TV, we had other kids playing Just Dance. And that didn't detract from everything that they could do in the trailer. So we can expand and scale to the size of the party.
Wow. So all of this activity is happening on the outside of the trailer, while people can also have the option of going inside the trailer at the same time.
Exactly, yes. And the trailer is climate controlled, so we have heat and AC, so we can party all year round. As long as the snow's not on the ground where I can't get out, we can be there, sun or shine.
Wow, just like the mailman, right? Oh, almost like the mailman.
Almost like the rain or shine, yes. Yeah.
That is awesome, because, just the other day here in Baltimore, it actually was raining out on and off, during the day. But, if someone wants to have a party, that they're having this birthday party or some kind of get together, it really does not have to affect what's going on the inside. So that's fantastic, which means the party can continue, so that's just fantastic. It's just really, really great to hear. I guess, Nate, also, while we're on the subject of the inside of the trailer, how many people can actually fit in the inside of the trailer, out of curiosity?
Okay, so one of the things that we've added that a lot of other trailer companies don't have is stadium-style seating. Now, we have 2 levels of seating, so we fit approximately 18 adults in it and close to 30 kids. Now the kids, because they're smaller, and we're talking a lot of the younger kids, they've spread themselves out across the floor, so they'll pack in. But inside we have 5 50-inch TVs, and then one 32-inch TV that's dedicated to a racing chair, because, like I said, my passion was the racing. So I actually built a force feedback racing steering wheel into a racing rig that has a actual car racing seat attached to it. So you can actually get in there with the pedals and drive. I think we're running Grid and Gran Turismo is the primary games that we play through that chair.
Wow. I have to say that is very exciting for me, because the only experience I was able to get even remotely close to that was in the arcade with a game called Daytona 500. I'm sure you probably remember that one by Sega. And just the fact that, so the wheel is actually force feedback, where you can kind of feel like the turns, or, you know, because I've heard of the force feedback wheels, and I've heard they've come so far from where they started back in the PlayStation 1 days, and now that was the thing I really liked about Daytona, was when you took the turns, you could actually feel like the wheel fighting against you. You could feel it. It was just an amazing feeling. So, yes. Wow. So just to have that as another option, that is fantastic with the pedals and all. Oh, man, that's great. That's really great, Nate.
Yeah, we strive to offer something, like I said, a little different than my competitors. Our competitors do offer things that we don't, but that's going to happen with any business. You're going to have things that make you unique from your competitors, and this is one of the things that I'm offering to try to stand out from everybody else.
Absolutely, definitely. I guess speaking about, you know, what each competitor offers and, you know, things of that sort that really separate them from their competition, Nate, if I can ask you, exactly what services do you offer?
Okay, so our basic offering, and the most widely used, is our 2-hour gaming package. So that way we just come up with a trailer. We tell you to provide us with the list of the top 10 to 20 games that you want, so we can try to make sure we have, if not all those games, most of them available. And we'll show up for 2 hours. You get unlimited gameplay. That's on all the TVs, including the racing chair. We give you the unlimited game time for that 2 hours with a gaming coach that helps you anytime you have a problem with the game. We'll switch out the games, and we kind of manage and make sure everybody has a good time during that time.
That's fantastic. Oh, go ahead, Nate. I'm sorry.
Then from there, we offer our themed birthday party packages. So we can come out and we'll provide decorations, plates, cups, napkins. We can do the balloon column. So if, like, we just did a Pokemon theme party a couple of days ago. So we had red, black, and blue balloon columns with big yellow balloons on the top, and then we had poster boards and everything that said Pokemon and happy birthday. And then we set up the tables that look like Pokemon tables, and it's a different, unique experience. And the one thing that most of the parents who purchase this package say is it's giving them a chance to enjoy the party, where they're usually hosting it. Now we're hosting it for them, and they can sit back and relax and interact with their guests.
That's awesome. And that's important too, because you're right. A lot of the time, you know, parents, they do have to, you know, interact with everyone, make sure everyone is okay. It kind of detracts their attention from, you know, other people, or even just being able to just relax a little bit, you know, so that is priceless. You know, if a parent just wants to have the party for his or her daughter and just sit back and enjoy
exactly.
it.
And that's what we're trying to bring. We're not trying to add any other stress to the person who's throwing a party. So we're giving them that opportunity to. They just bring the food. We don't cater, but we can bring the food if they order it. That's another service that we're offering. We'll pick it up and deliver it to the location, but we're just trying to make it a stress-free environment and make sure that the kids have the most fun that they can within that time frame. But a couple other things that we do offer is, for one, we offer tournaments.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry, Nate. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No problem. We'll bring in, let's say somebody wants to do a Madden tournament or a Call of Duty Black Ops 3 tournament. We'll bring in 4 or 5 of the same games. And then we can actually do a Xbox versus PlayStation tournament, or we can do just all Xbox tournament where everybody can play the same game. We can either play it online or we can play console versus console. We've got different tournament packages that we can set up. And the last thing is we offer movie parties. We have two types of movie parties we can offer. We can offer an experience in the truck where we can play the same movie across 7 screens and surround sound. Or we have a outdoor movie screen that we can project a 12-foot screen, and we have a speaker system that comes along with it, so you'll get the entire movie experience outdoors at night. Or you can do a combination of both, so we can actually take that same video, display it on the 7 screens inside and 1 large screen outside to have even a more immersive movie experience.
Oh my goodness, Nate. So I just want to get this straight. That's all. Not only do you guys provide the gaming side of entertainment, but also if someone wants to have a big movie party, a movie night, you guys can also provide that service as well.
Yes. And we do provide some other services, and we do a tailgating package where we'll actually bring a grill, cooler, and set you up, and we'll come out to, let's say it's at a stadium or a sports arena. As long as we can get permission to bring the trailer there, we'll reserve your spot. We'll set up the grill. You do the cooking. You bring the food, but we'll handle all the entertainment.
Wow.
And then we also have, like I was saying earlier, for larger parties, we have an activities package where we bring various games, and these are like the toss across, the outdoor mini fun activities that a lot of people, the lawn darts, things of that nature. We'll bring those types of games to kind of supplement. If we have a group that we can't fit everybody in a trailer at the same time, we'll supplement that extra time with the ability to keep the kids active doing something and kind of give them a break from using their thumbs to play video games for the entire 2-3 hours that they were just.
Definitely, Nate. I guess, since we're actually on the, the side of time, as it were, Nate, how many hours can a person actually use your services for?
So that's a trick question, because we're not into limiting a customer from a certain time period. We can run a package anywhere from the basic 2 hours to my generator will last 10 hours. And actually, if we do have a event that we need to extend the time, I do have a backup generator that we can actually bring so we can extend the time above and beyond that. So my basic thing is between 2 and I want to say about 8 hours.
Okay, that's more than fair. I mean, good grief, that's a long lasting party if you need 8 hours,
yes,
as it were.
The longest we've done so far is 4 hours.
Wow, so you're like halfway there, pretty much halfway there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
And we're not opposed to doing like corporate events or fundraisers, carnivals. So if anybody is looking for something to that scale and size, we'll definitely make sure that we bring everything we need to manage a longer period of time.
Wow, that's excellent, Nate. That really is. I guess wow. Is there anything else that you would want to add, I guess, before we wrap it up. I mean, I think you've covered quite a bit, but could you please at least tell the listeners out there where they can get in contact with you, what your website is, just to give them the basis of where they can find you guys and get in contact with you?
Sure. We're located on Facebook, Instagram. You can find some of our reviews on Yelp. Our company name, again, is Tailgamer. We're actually a licensed business, so we're Tailgamer LLC. So we also have a website, which is tailgamer.com, where you can go on, you can find out about our services, what our offering, our price packages, and we also have a business phone number that we can be contacted at. It's available both on Facebook as well as my website. That number would be 570-807-4168, and you can give us a call, and we will try to make sure we can host the party that would make your best dreams come true.
That's incredible, Nate. Wow, I guess no more needs to be said, ladies and gentlemen and listeners. Definitely, if you are planning your next party and you want it to be a gaming event, definitely check out Tailgamer. They will definitely make your party that much better. And for the parents out there that just want to throw the party but want to relax, definitely consider this as an option. Well, I guess that will wrap it up for this roundtable discussion. But before we go, Nate, are there any final words that you would like to say to the listeners?
Well, I want to say thank you for having me on this podcast, and to the listeners, if you're ever in the need of my services, definitely feel free to reach out to me. We'll make sure that you have the best party we can.
Absolutely. And with that, listeners, this will end it for this week. And as always, if you guys want to call in, leave your feedback, you can call in at 443-261-4607. Or if you don't want to call and you just want to email, you can do that as well. And that email address is the Analog Circle Podcast at gmail.com. So with that, guys, we are out of here. And remember, it is not about the console, it's about the games. So you guys take care, be safe out there. Bye-bye.